What's up, people? It's your man ThaBlackCobra once again, and yes, today I wanted to bring to you some of the footage from the big guys ride at the KingSong S20 demo day in New York. Even in light of the fire that happened recently, I want you to understand that this is the same wheel prior to these fires. So I want you to see how this ride went, how I felt, and why I still feel really strongly about the KingSong S20. So without further ado, let's go. So right off the bat, there's a couple of things I want you to notice. First of all, how comfortable I feel on the wheel, and this is my first time jumping up on it. You'll see it's more apparent as I ride a little bit more. Second, you'll see behind me, Sean was doing some chase ride footage in this video. And only a little bit here, but more so later, you'll see how easy it was. These are speed bumps I'm going over, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, but those are speed bumps. Those that were there that day, you know how going over those speed bumps is not easy. You can see Sean's behind me, but he was having a rougher time than I was going over those bumps. I mean, they're not huge speed bumps, but I went over them on the Sherman prior to this ride, and I definitely had to buckle the knees to make sure I could get over it. You can see right here, a close-up on the wheel, just how appealing this wheel looks. It still, to me, looks like a Ferrari or something like that. Maybe it's the Ferrari red in the styling. But look how smooth and comfortable I am on this wheel. The ride is smooth and I'm comfortable, and I just start breezing. I think right here is one of the spots you can start to see I start leaving Sean behind without even trying. And there's no bumps here, but more when we go back. On the way back, you'll really see just how easy it is. Now, people are complaining about the torque on this wheel. I'm not saying it has off the line torque, because it doesn't have the same torque as other wheels off the line, but I'm not Michael Jackson leaning on this thing. That's just not how I do things. I like to get up to speed on a gradual basis. That's just me.
It feels
you
like
got that thing fast.
It's so smooth. Like that.
You went over those bumps. After hop, you just rode right over it.
Yeah, I didn't like.
You didn't even notice.
I was expecting more bumps because I just came over it with the Sherman. So I'm like, okay, oh shit, buckle. I go over with this. I'm like, oh shit, I just went over one. This is fucking lovely. I'm gonna go back the same way. Really see if I can sit on a little bit on it. That's what I'm concerned about too. Let's see. A little short for me.
It's a hard squat because the pedals are so high.
Now that's another one of the things that I wish were a little bit better on this wheel, is even though it has a good width, the height is it's not quite as tall as I'd like it. Even though it has high pedal clearance and it has the suspension, to sit on it, I gotta squat a lot and my knees aren't great, so having to squat so hard was not fun. But as you can see here, I was enjoying the ride. Even on the sit down, I was just hitting it. I don't know if you can really tell, but I'm moving pretty good here. The pedals were good. I felt locked in nicely. The only thing outside of that I didn't like was the pads. I definitely felt that if I had some Clark pads or some Grizzly pads, then I would have been happier with the pad situation on the wheel. Even though the ones that come on it look good, they don't feel good. So here's the part I was talking about. So you see, as I'm breezing over these bumps, I'm not even hesitating. I'm not thinking about it. I'm just whipping it. And you'll see Sean behind me. He gets further and further and further away as I start leaning on it a little bit more. And honestly, I'm not banging on it like others were, but look how far back Sean is right there. And that's him normal riding. He's trying to keep up and film, but he just can't. In this wheel, I don't have to worry about the bumps, and all I got to worry about is just feeling it and zipping, and that's what I was doing. So for a guy 235 pounds, I think you'll agree, this wheel was handling it and with ease. And I am still a huge fan of this KingSong S20. As we loop back around, all I did was try to get more comfortable, try to feel the curving and carving, because I love to carve on my wheel, and I wanted to see how good I felt here. My man Black Elroy was in the house. August Hill. And that was the end of my ride, people.
Yo! This is all day right here. I could ride this and never stop.
And that's it. Now, I just want to be clear. I'm not trying to say that there's nothing wrong, because the fire that happened obviously is a problem. But I'm going to tell you, I believe that this wheel was banged and beat up, and I think something went wrong. I don't know whether something came loose. I do know that their fail-safe that they had built in supposedly to stop any of the sparks from jumping to the motherboard didn't work, or from the motherboard to the battery obviously failed because there was a fire, and that's the big no-no. So I believe they're going to get this under control. I'm a glass half full kind of guy anyway. You guys know my positivity is well known, so I believe they're going to do what they need to do to fix this problem and make it better and make it right for the rest of us. I still feel that the KingSong S20 is an amazing wheel, and I still think it's going to do big things. That's just what I believe. So that's it. The big guys ride on the KingSong S20. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one. Till then, deuces. I'm out.
Let me tell you, that shit is mean.
So, what's the word?
After riding it, the word is still, fuck yeah. Let me tell you, I know that I guess I look at things, nothing's perfect. So I don't look at it like, is this the perfect wheel? Because I know there is no perfect wheel. But I do look at it like, is this a wheel that I want to ride on a regular basis? And the answer is yes, with a capital Y. So I can tell you right now, I'm glad I got one on pre-order. I definitely want to ride it some more, and I kind of didn't want to come back and give it up. So that's always the sign of a good wheel. The real key for me, like I said earlier, is that those bumps. It's like you're riding over them like they're not there. And even riding other wheels, you're so used to the give, you gotta, do with your knees. And on this one, sometimes I hit a couple of those bumps and forgot that there were bumps there. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter.
Were you maintaining your speed when you were going through the
Yeah.
I couldn't keep up because I had to take those bumps. You just roll right over.
I was like, this is lovely, man.
Hesitation, huh?
I was like,
Worth every penny?
oh yeah, I'm all in. I'm like, okay, what I gotta sell to get to Hey, anybody want a V11? Because I love my V11, but I think that it just kicked it from my roster, because that's definitely a replacement for it. It's got more speed. It kind of feels like a combination between the V12 and the V11, because it has more speed like the V12, but it has that suspension like the V11. So it's like KingSong did their thing, man. They definitely did their thing.